Peace, peace. Hello, family. How you doing? This is your brother, Antonio Thomas, CEO of Lineage First Foundation, president of New Life Learners, and also a general contractor at construction. Yes, I do a lot of things. And I'm also a life coach at the Youth Peace Center of Roseland, supporting Mr. and Mrs. Jones and running supervisor for the youth department in the prayer program. So it's all the hats that I wear. And today I want to talk to you about the 14th Amendment. Now this may upset a few people. It can be held for debate or what have you. And I'm welcome to do it. You know, for all those individuals who went to school for a long time studying constitutional law, you know, and really taking it out of context by not reading the whole thing, you know, and it's crazy how you have to go take the bar. All states don't do it to be recognized as a lawyer, as if the bar don't stand for British associations of something. I have to look it back up. I forgot at this moment, but it's really a British organization that verifies whether you learned the Constitution or learned law in a way where they interpret it, and that's British. A British structure, the same structure that America went against and kicked them out the country to make its own entity, its own country. So now you have these same people who created them laws back then that was so oppressive that they had to go to war to kick them out and become their own nation. And these the same people that you filter back into the system that's going to define the laws that you created that was against the laws that they had. Make it make sense. That's one thing. And the second thing on the 14th Amendment, you know, and that's the one that gives people citizenship. When it was created, the 14th Amendment was created to give those ex-slaves and those abandoned people, so-called refugees, those indigenous people who fought for the freedom of this country and incorporated themselves into the American society for the reason that we've been looked at as citizens like the white counterparts on a federal level. We never signed up to be a part of the states. We signed up to be a part of the general government like everybody else did, to have a say-so on how we lived in our areas. So the way they are moving now is really unconstitutional when it comes to freedmen and indigenous people who fought for the independence of this country and became freed on the paper, because we were still fighting for our freedom then. If the paper was never put into law or enacted, we'll still be running away, joining indigenous people on their land and fighting back against the government, because that's really what was really going on. That's why you have the Gullah Wars and so many different wars back then that was going back and forth, you know. And to even make it even deeper, we fought against the South and the 5 civilized tribes. So let's not lead them out, as they trying not to give citizenship to the individuals who they held enslaved, you know, that they held captive, they held for their workhorses, you know. So that was the agreement that they had with the treaties that they signed. And the treaties wasn't really upheld, because after about 10 years, you know, they said they had enough, and they made that compromise. And they compromised to leave us out, that whole compromise. Because what they did was say, okay, well, you know, y'all handle them black folks and those people over there in those areas. You know, we just gonna leave them alone. We're gonna go back to the South and we're gonna pull all the troops out, which that never should have been happening, because the condition was y'all. They help us transition, set up places, be able to monitor us with the other citizens, and be able to create towns and places for our own that will be supported and invested into by the federal government. And as we see, none of that happened. So, and that's what the 14th Amendment was supposed to be, making us citizens like everybody else, to be viewed the same inside a court of law, which never happens when it comes to us. That's why we do the longest sentence, the longest time. We don't supposed to be being judged on the state level, period. We fought for independence, and we fought for our freedom to be American, with the federal government, not to be up under these states and these sanctions. And that's what we got to start going back to. We are freedmen, and our agreement is with the American government, not with the individual states. So the way they are enacting these laws and making these ordinances that's keeping us in these impoverished states and giving everything away to other people is illegal. And not only illegal, it's treasonous, because that's not even what we set up for. So by the Constitution, we got the right to go back at these people at only as a collective front as freedmen. It's nice that you want to call yourself a ADOS or FBA or whatever you have, you know what I'm saying? But our power is within the Constitution, and using that, because it's their words that they said in there as they making people come over here to be citizens. That's not how it's supposed to be set up. The reason why you are a natural born citizen, because you have no beholdings to any other country. That's what it is. Think about it. If a person is already American, when they having a child, their child is what? American, right? So when these people come over here and you have a child and you Venezuelan, then your child is Venezuelan. It says in there, if you're not beholden to any other country or powers, that's what it says. So if you are a citizen of Guatemalan or China, and you have a child over here, then it's either Guatemalan or China. Take your pick. Just because it's over here in America doesn't mean that child is American. That's insane. That's not what it was intended to do or be. So for those people to say that it is, they are lying to you, and they are playing a game with you, because half of them individuals that's in Congress now is from immigrants, after the 1920s. So look it up. So of course you're gonna want people that come over here that have children to become American citizenship. So, you know what I'm saying? Because that builds up the numbers that you have. Because most of these people still beholden to their countries. That's why you have them making laws and making agreements that's helping out other countries and not helping the people that's in this country. They are being treasonous. All you gotta do is look at it. You cannot give housing and money and support and food to other people, so they claiming asylum, and you're not giving it to your own people. So that means what they running from, that means oppression in their country. You causing oppression for us to make another people comfortable over top of your own citizens. That's treason. Article 3, Section 3. So that's all you have to do is read that. Article 3, Section 3 of the Constitution dictates and says that's what that is. It's not my words. It's what the forefathers put in place because they knew that this was going to happen. Like people always trying to say, well, they put this because they knew that this wasn't going to last. No, they put this in place, and they put it so you will be able to interpret it in a way and make adjustments as you see fit as a collective society. But that's not happening. People are getting into office saying they claim or saying that they support the people, or they doing the people will, but they doing what they want. You got the majority of the people said close the borders, we had enough. But Biden and them saying, no, we need to help these people. But you giving all this money to Mexico to stave off what's happening right now. So why you still giving them money? You giving all this money to Ukraine. Better yet, you borrowing it from China to give to Ukraine. Now, isn't China and Russia, buddies? It did, that's, and they try to talk about we had conflict of interest. the way you locking our people up, our freedmen people, which we should never be in the state courts. You know what I'm saying? We're only supposed to be dealing with this country on a federal level. So you need to reinstitute our class status of freedmen and give us back our federal level status. That way, all this prison to this school to prison pipeline will be over with. You know, it's insane to have the individuals who created the atrocities for you to be in control of your educational system and the your system of governance. That's insane, because they're gonna do what they always did: be oppressive. You can look at everything that we try to do or everything that we try to institute. We created black towns. We came out and in 20 years, in 10 years, we made 100 years of progress. And they brought immigrants on. They had their land grants, you know, and because they saw us with these towns and living good, they came, burnt down our towns and bombed us and all that. And the federal government didn't do nothing. That's strike number one. Number two, they came in taking land that was already ours, that was given to us, that we already had, you know, and that we was already living. And then they was using the state laws to take them lands to what they needed for other people. Strike two, that was illegal. And then they came in talking about, you know, if you want better education, better, you know, hotels, better places, you know, what you need to do is to integrate so we could put this money together and you can get the money that we got and make your land better, which didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? You gave all the money to the white people, and that way they control all the businesses, all the structures inside government. So we had to go to them for a job. So all the businesses and the structures that we had failed because they was not getting invested in anymore. You integrated our money, but didn't integrate the society. You know, you integrate it so they can gain the wealth and have the wealth. Strike three, which that was unconstitutional. It says what you do if for one citizen, you must do for the other. So as you are giving all these land grants to these white citizens, you're supposed to be giving to the land grants to the freedmen people, not black, not minorities, not people of color. That's not how it was intended. None of that stuff was put into the Constitution. We are freemen, and we deserve our respect, we deserve our autonomy, and we deserve our resources. Peace. What's going on? It's lineage first, never second. Please join. Listen to the conversation. Freedmen Street. Co-host Lorenzo Washington. Host Antonio Thomas. Lineage first. Join the movement. Join the organization. Don't get caught lacking. Please. And sponsored by New Life Learners.